How's it going, everybody? Thomas here with Read Review Recommend, and we have another great book review for you guys today. We will be reviewing Spiderwick Chronicles Book 3, Lucinda's Secret. This was a very good one. We get to meet Aunt Lucy. All three of the kids are together for this one. They go on an adventure together because they think that Arthur, their great uncle, might have been taken at some point in time. So they're going to kind of go unravel that mystery, travel through the woods. They get to meet a couple of new creatures. They get to meet some elves. And it really kind of shows the dynamic of all three of the siblings put together and how they handle situations. It shows their cleverness. This was, compared to the other two, this is the best one so far. I honestly can say that I think they're getting better book by book, and that is one of the things that makes me very happy for the series and excited to read the rest of the series. The plot on this one I thought was probably the best plot so far. I really enjoyed that it gave you a little bit more sense of mystery. It's opening up to some new characters. You learn about how interacting with the fairy world could change your world forever when you meet their Aunt Lucinda, who they call Lucy. She's eaten fairy food before, and once you've done that, all human food tastes terrible. Whether it's ash or dirt or dust, it just tastes terrible to where you can't eat it anymore. So she can only eat fairy food, which she has a couple of fairy friends that bring her food, and it's very interesting, some of the mysteries and some of the things that you learn about the world in this one. So for the beginning, I'm going to have to give the plot a 10 out of 10. That's where we will start today. Actually, I will have to say that I did feel that this one had a little bit. This was the first time whenever I feel like they had some stuff that they left out that they could have put in there. I felt like this was the first book where their mother could have been part of the overarching story, and she was not so far. That, I think, kind of puts it down on the plot. So we're going to put the plot at a 9 out of 10, actually. That's where we're going to start. But with that being said, within the first chapter or two, you realize that Jared's still getting messed with by the brownie that's in their house. Because last book, he got upset with the brownie. He grabbed it to steal the seeing eye so that he could see everything. Well, the brownie's still upset with him, still getting his get back. That leads them to go visit Aunt Lucy and to get some answers, where you definitely find out some mysteries, but you don't get the answers that you're looking for. So it's you win some, you lose some kind of situation with Aunt Lucy. But the beginning, I did think was very solid. I will be giving that a 9 out of 10. This was the best paced book out of all of them so far. It literally kept the intensity up unless you're in a mystery. Then up, and then you're searching for a mystery. And then up, and then you're searching for the mystery until you get to the conclusion. And it really was page-turning. It was very gripping. Like I said, the mystery and some of the stuff that you get to find out in this one is incredible. In just the short 100 pages, like I said, you get to meet Lucy, you get to meet this thing called a Fuka, who speaks in riddles and rhymes, and it helps them figure out that they're not really walking on grass, they're walking on these little things that are about, yay big, that look like grass. but they make it to where you're walking through a labyrinth without any walls, so you don't know you're in a labyrinth, because they shift and move to where no matter how far you walk, you kind of seem like you're going back to the beginning. I thought it was brilliant, all the way until you meet the elves, who are almost blended with nature, still have the intellect that you would expect from an elf, the beauty, the seriousness almost was perfect. So the pacing on this one was definitely the best out of all of them. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It was near perfect for what this book was. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought the pacing was just absolutely incredible. And like I said, like I was just saying, you get to meet some really good characters this time. Aunt Lucy was great. Definitely not insane, but has definitely lived an interesting life. She knows far less than what you would expect her to know, but she knows more than what anybody else knows so far. You start learning that Jared is definitely becoming addicted to having the book, almost to a very obsessed, attached, sleeps the book underneath his pillow. He brings it to school with him. Everywhere he goes, this book is with him. So much to the point that whenever he loses it, he starts irrationally lashing out at people, including his sister. But this book also shows the compassion and the cleverness that Jared has. It goes about showing how observant that Simon is. He's able to figure out certain things throughout this one and connect dots. And he's just very, very observant. And honestly, from Mallory, you're kind of getting this Steve Harrington, Laura Croft, Xena, this person that never was meant to be in these kind of situations, but they're going to grab life by the horns, and they're going to go through the situation with bravery, even when they feel like they need to cry. And it's just, you really got a deeper dive into the characters on this one. And that was probably what I would say was the best part about this book, is that the deep dive that you got on the characters that you hadn't gotten so much in the first two books was A++. So the characters, for character development on this one, I will give a 10 out of 10, because all the characters you meet in this one are interesting. They are all different, but in a sense what you would expect, which is very masterfully done. The writing on this one was still where it is in the other two books, and that is near perfect for the age range that they are shooting for. It is very easy to read, very easy to get through, but the grammar is good, the word usage is good, dialogue is good. Everything about the writing system is what it needs to be for the age group that they are striving to hit. But they're not Shakespeare. You know, they're not somebody that's writing a Malazan, that's writing a Red Rising. This is a book for kids, and it is incredibly well done. Giving the writing a 9 out of 10, because it really is. It is incredibly done, and not so much the power system, but like I said, you learn some more things. You learn how certain things in the fairy world work with other things in the fairy world to stay hidden, to remain as powerful as they are, but not known by the overall masses of the world. This was the best showing of the magic system that we've seen so far. But it is still the most lacking part of this book, is that it definitely has magic, doesn't really show it yet. Or maybe they're just giving you small doses overall. Because if I were to take the magic system overall in the first 3 books put together, it's solid. But what you get to see in each book is just mere fragments. So, I'm going to give the power system, as I have so far, a 7 out of 10. It's the lowest rated to me, but it's not a bad fantasy magic system by any means. It's just, it wasn't as gripping as I would like it to be. Now, the ending of this one was very good, because it has all of them coming together. It shows trust, it shows cleverness, and it shows how, as siblings, they know each other in such a sense that nobody else could. And you really get to see that bond at the end of this one. This was the best ending to me so far. This one was very good. I really, really liked how all 3 of them were in the whole entire book. The ending was just great. It really was. It was very, very good. It was another happy ending, but it was more intense than the other ones, and that part was good. And like I said, you get to see the cleverness, you get to see the trust that they have with each other, and the bonding. The ending to me was a 9 out of 10. Best ending in the series so far. I lost my mouse. I found my mouse. Oi. Alright, 9 out of 10. Bringing all for Spiderwick Chronicles Book 3, Lucinda's Secret. I am giving it a 8 out of 10. And I have been pondering on this whole time. I'm giving the plot an 8 out of 10 because most of the stuff in the plot that I was boosting it up for whenever I started talking about it, I realized were benefits to the characters. But the plot was still very good. The plot was still very good. I really enjoyed it. It was the best plot so far. Almost in every rating, I would say this was the best book so far. And I do agree with that rating. In my personal opinion, I think this was the book that surpassed the others. I'm super excited to read the rest. I will have those reviews out week by week as we keep coming into this year of 2026. So, once again, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for experiencing Book 3 of the Spiderwick Chronicles and my thoughts on it. And I hope you guys enjoy your year. Keep reading, keep enjoying these stories, and let's just get it going. Y'all have a great day.